Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott, inviting you to join me in just a few minutes on Lifestyles for Women. We have a great show planned for you. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back in just a moment. Well, hi everyone, welcome back again to Lifestyles for Women. We have a great show planned for you today. Our first guest will be representing DAR. And if you want to know what that is, Miss Meeks is here today to explain that to us. And what is DAR?
Well, actually, we are part of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution. This is the oldest and the only heritage society run by women. And we're very proud of the fact that we own an entire city block in Washington, D.C., including Constitution Hall, which you may have heard of because many of the most famous concerts are put on there. It's a huge auditorium seating about 3,000 people. All of the high schools in Washington, D.C. have their graduation ceremonies there.
Wonderful.
And when we have our national convention, there are the seals of the various states around the hall. And did you know that Georgia was the fourth state to come into the Union after the Constitution was signed in 1787.
Wow.
So we Georgia ladies have the best seats in the House because the Delaware delegation is small. They have just a little slice, but by the time they get to Georgia, we have a pretty large area.
Yes.
And also, you know, the Georgia star on the American flag is the fourth star from the left at the top.
How about that? Yeah,
So we're very
wonderful.
proud of Georgia's position in the DAR.
Right, and I love the outfit here, and I love the bonnet. I mean, this is just so typical of what it was like, and the dress at that time.
That's right.
When the Constitution was, you know, written and passed. And we talk about that with Constitution Week because Constitution Week is really a big week that happens even here in Dalton. Let's talk about what happens and what that is actually.
Well, as you know, the Constitution was actually signed September 17th in 1787. But in 1955, the DAR petitioned the Congress to set aside the entire week to be designated Constitution Week. And in Georgia and maybe all over the United States, Constitution Day itself is part of the curriculum. Therefore, the teachers locally are always glad to have representatives like me in costume to come in and read to the children and talk about what life was like in colonial times.
Right. And all this, you know, we'll be hearing more about this as we get into to this week, but it's September the 17th through the 23rd. All right, which there's a lot of activities that's going to be happening here.
Right.
You've actually brought some books that you read to
the
children.
This one is a picture book, and it actually has lovely pictures, and when I show it to children, of course, I'm going like this so they can see it. But we also have some other resources that we supply for the teachers, little books like If You Lived in Colonial Times, and coloring books, the uniforms of the Revolution, early colonial fashions, this kind of thing, because teachers are always looking for something to round out the unit they're required to do on Constitution Day.
Right, and how important it is to acknowledge and honor that Constitution as we're talking today. Now, I know that what's going to be happening from a local standpoint here?
Well, Our chairman is Dell Bailey. The local regent is Dr. Dorothy Weathersby. They will be attending the city council meetings of Dalton and Chatsworth. And those days are the weeks of September 17th through the 23rd will be designated Constitution Week in those two cities. Also, church on the 17th, church bells will ring at noon. And DAR members, of course, have been asked to be in the schools, and the information will be on radio and TV.
Newspaper, I mean, you got that covered.
And Dell went to the Constitution Hall and to the DAR Museum this summer, and I think she bought some posters that will be put in places like the libraries.
Right, and I guess flags will be out. It'll be
yes.
a big thing. So when you see all this happening in Dalton, Chatsworth area, you're going to recognize that this is Constitution Week. So be part of the activities that are going to be happening.
That's right, and we hope that children will begin to understand the importance of this document. We're very proud of the fact that ours is the shortest constitution of any of the major countries, but it's also the longest lasting.
Very good. It is
quite a fact.
It is, and you have some interesting facts. I know we're out of time here, but I just want to cover those real quick. That you mentioned that Thomas Jefferson actually did not sign the Constitution, even though a lot of people think that. He was in France at the time.
That's right.
And
yes, he was our ambassador.
Right.
And that's why he was in France.
And George Washington and James Madison were the only presidents who signed the Constitution.
And the oldest one, good old Benjamin Franklin, was there for the Declaration of Independence, and he sat through that hot summer in Philadelphia to write the Constitution, and he was the oldest person to sign it, and the only one wearing glasses.
Wow, how about that? Well, thank you so much for being with us and sharing.
Certainly welcome.
Constitution Week coming up September the 17th through the 23rd, and we appreciate your effort and what you're doing in with the DAR and what all of those ladies are doing with that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And stay with us. We have much more to come here on Lifestyles for Women. We'll be right back. Welcome back again to Lifestyles for Women. As we continue our show today, we're going to be talking about the Alzheimer's walk that's coming our way. And with me today is Frida Stevenson, who is the development director for Alzheimer's. We thank you so much for being with us.
Good to be here.
You know, it's so important for before I actually get into the walk itself, but you have statistics about Alzheimer's, and you were telling me earlier it kind of affects women even more.
Absolutely, yes. We have, over the last few years, they've been doing a lot of surveys and a lot of studies, and they have now determined that, nearly 2/3 of those with Alzheimer's disease are women, 3.2 million. And I have a lot of facts here and a lot of figures, and it's hard to remember all of them. So in 2013, 15.5 million family and friends provided 17.7 billion hours of unpaid care, and over half of those were women providing that care. So, it's just really increasing every day. Every day, every 67 seconds, somebody new is diagnosed. Of Americans aged 65 and older, 1 in 9 has Alzheimer's, and 1 in 3 people aged 85 and older has the disease. It's just staggering when you really get to reading about these, these statistics. Women in their 60s, this is one that's really interesting. Women in their 60s are about twice as likely to develop Alzheimer's disease over the rest of their lives as they are to develop breast cancer. So that's
interesting.
That is very interesting. It's staggering when you start to read these. Among women caregivers who also work, 20% have gone from working full-time to part-time because of their caregiving duties. And it's estimated 60% of Alzheimer's and dementia caregivers rate the emotional stress of caregiving as high or very high. And a lot of times, we will lose the caregiver before we lose the person with the disease because of the stress and the time and effort that goes into caring for that person with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, and Alzheimer's it can be very rapid, or it could last like many years.
Depending on the
15 years, I've even heard.
Yes, it can vary from person to person depending on your other health, your physical health, and other things you may have going on. But typically, it lasts from 10 to 20 years. You will see some people progress a lot faster. The early onset, type is a little bit faster.
It is so sad to and I've heard families members talk how, it's kind of like losing their loved one, because even though they're there, they may not recognize them.
Definitely. You lose them over and over. It's like an emotional roller coaster. When that person with Alzheimer's or dementia has a good day, you have a good day. When they have a bad day, it hits you all over again. You just repeatedly lose them over and over and over. They may not remember who you are. They may think that you're their mom, or something like that, because they tend to go backwards.
Right. And I know that this has to be an emotional part for the caregiver, particularly if it's a family member, that you see your mom or your dad not recognizing who you are. So there is such a heavy weight on both the caregiver and also the person who is diagnosed as Alzheimer's. And how is, you think about some of the ways that you are able to help that person with Alzheimer's. I'm sure you have a lot of resources that you can help them with.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of information and referral resources, and we have, lots of brochures and information on behaviors and communications and bathing and any issue that you might run across.
Would it be okay if someone who's listening has a family member or a spouse that has Alzheimer's could call?
Absolutely.
Alzheimer's Association?
Absolutely. They can call our local number at 275-0819 or our 800 number, which is 800-272-3900.
Okay.
Absolutely. Call anytime. We'd love for you to.
Right. Now, we know, as you've talked with us about the need here in the statistics and how it's rapidly growing, and we want to encourage everyone today to help support this there's so many different ways that you can. But one of the major ways we're talking about today is the walk. And let's talk about the walk. In fact, we have the flyer that we're going to pull up here. As you can see, it's September the 27th. Okay. And you have to register?
You need to register, and you can do that online at alz.org/Georgia. Or you can do that by calling our office. We're happy to do that, work with you on that. And it will be at the Depot, downtown Dalton, the Depot restaurant. And TJ's really good about supporting us, and he'll be providing refreshments that morning.
So that's where it starts?
Yes, it starts there.
Okay.
And we're going to have an escorted walk this year instead of blocking off streets and traffic. We'll have an officer in front, an officer behind in their cars, patrol cars, and we'll have an escorted walk.
Now, where does it go? Where's the
It's
walk?
going to wind around downtown. I don't have the map with me, but we're going to do some winding.
It'll be so much fun. And
it is.
It's just great to see people coming together, the community getting out and supporting this.
Absolutely.
Make
it's
your reservations.
Very yes.
And how much is
There's no fee, for walking. If you can't raise funds, just come walk with us anyway.
Okay.
If you want to earn a T-shirt, you need to raise a minimum of $200 per person.
Okay.
And that's our official walk T-shirt.
Okay.
So, and there's other incentives out there, and we just encourage you to get involved, and help us out.
Absolutely.
Come out and
in
enjoy
any
the
way.
day.
Particularly,
Absolutely.
We'll come out September 27th at the Dalton Depot.
Volunteers are welcome too.
Good. Call the Alzheimer's Association,
Right.
706-27.
775-0819.
Okay. Thank you, Frida.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
And stay with us here on Lifestyles for Women. We have much more to come. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. Well, hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott. Welcome back again to Lifestyles for Women. Next we have with us a great event that's happening our way, and with me to talk about that is Katie Peoples and also Lisa Sloan, and talk about Kingdom Women series that's coming up, and you don't want to miss this. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us. Yes, we're so excited to be here. And so our Kingdom Woman, we're going to start at Salem on September 10th, and there's going to be 6 sessions where we're going to meet together as a group of women, and we're going to be going through Dr. Tony Evans and his daughter, his oldest daughter, Kristen Hurst. We're going to go through their new series called Kingdom Woman, and we're really excited about this series. It's a big concept to think about. What does it mean to be a kingdom woman? But God has so many biblical examples in the Bible. It's just sometimes knowing how to apply those to our lives today. Because, I mean, we have busy, crazy lives, but we want to represent ourselves well as kingdom women and as Christian women. So we're really excited about this class.
Yes, I know, and it's going to be beginning when? September?
It begins September 10th, and there's 6 sessions, and there's a DVD, like a video component to each session. So we will watch the DVD part, and that lasts usually between 15 and 20 minutes, and then we go through and we'll discuss as a group of women exactly what was said and what does that mean and what's going on in our own lives, and be able to just go through that. And this is something new to us, so we're just excited about it.
Well, I think it's great that Salem Baptist Church is bringing this to the community of women. I mean, you know, for people who are hearing this, regardless if they're, you know, come to Salem Baptist Church or they're out in the community and would like to participate in this would be a great series. And I know I've read a little bit about it. I'm excited about it. And Lisa, I know that who's this kind of geared to, or who do you recommend? Well, I won't say recommend, but who is it kind of targeted to?
This is for everyone. I can imagine this being for that college student that doesn't quite fit in with a youth group anymore, but they're not really quite ready to venture into an adult Sunday school class with that group. This is geared for them. That single mom who just needs time to fellowship with other women. This is for you. It's for everyone.
Right.
We're super excited about this class. It's just a wonderful time to grow in our walk. It's a great time to fellowship with other women. As women, I think we always put ourselves last. We put our families first. We take care of our husbands. We take care of our children. We take care of our careers, and then we give ourselves what's left. Sometimes there's not a whole lot left, and so this is something that you can do for yourself.
Right. I think the networking, and I want to say the social part of it, to meet new people as well, is such a great idea too. But the series, from what I was reading a little bit, Tony Evans, he is like pastor to over 8,500
a big church.
In Dallas, and is on many radio stations. I said like 850 radio stations. So he's very well known.
Yes.
And I think from this series, do you think sometimes God has bigger dreams for us than we really even know?
I definitely think so. I think that He has a plan and a purpose for every woman's life, and it's just putting that plan and purpose before our own. And it's easy to do if you just let Him.
Right. And I think that's going to be such a great part of this, not just watching the video, but the discussion that's going to come out of this.
Well, you have women from all different walks, people who are in different places in their spiritual life. And so I know someone who's going to help with this class is one of our dear friends, and she is such a spiritual person, and I know that we both go to her a lot. You're going to have a classroom of these wonderful leaders and people that you can talk to. And we're going to do a lot of group discussions, which is what I'm looking forward to.
Right. And I think it's interesting that you mentioned wherever you are in your life,
Exactly.
this is for you, because it could...
Yeah, for the baby Christians, maybe you're not even a Christian yet, but you want to know more about that and what that means. It's for you, and it's for the seasoned Christians. It's for everybody.
Yeah. That's wonderful. And I know you're also going to have childcare for people who are bringing Their babies?
Absolutely. Well, we have a lot of great programs in place. We have Awareness programs for the younger children. We have Word of Life for our teenagers. And I cannot leave out that we also have Kingdom Men, which will be going on at the same time upstairs. And again, that's a Tony Evans Bible studies like we're going through.
Okay.
And that will take place upstairs. So you can bring your whole family.
Right, exactly. So again, that's at Salem Baptist Church. Telephone number, Katie, for Salem is?
It's 706-259-7045.
Okay, great. So more information, Salem Baptist Church, beginning September the 10th through October 15th, 6:30 p.m. Call the church for more information. You do have a Facebook page, Kingdom Women?
Yes.
Kingdom Women. Thank you so much. Good luck with that. I think it's
Thank
going to be
you.
great. Thank you again. Thank you, Salem Church, for bringing this to the ladies of our
Excited to be here.
community.
Thank
you.
And we thank you for being with us here on Lifestyles for Women. Until next time, I'm Judy Elliott. We hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.